I'm Carol Esser, and today I'm going to be making a quinoa strawberry salad with you. In the summer, we all like to have fresher kinds of salads, and most of the restaurants now are serving things with grains in them. And what you will find is that quinoa is considered the mother of grain, and it's been around for a long, long time. The Incas were instrumental in kind of developing it. And it is very high in protein, and so it's a really good addition, and it can add a wonderful sort of texture, and it helps to fill you up. The other thing that we are going to be focusing on today is adding in fruit. We're going to have strawberries that we're doing with this, and we're also going to add spinach. And so it's going to be a very well-rounded salad, and you could actually do it as a main course, or you could serve it as a side with the grilled meat or fish or whatever that you like. And so there's a couple techniques that I want to just talk about before I put the salad together. The first is making the quinoa, and quinoa comes in a bag, and it's a kind of a very light colored, very small grain. It's a very small grain. And it cooks very much like rice. And so if you take a half a cup of quinoa and a cup of water and bring it to simmer and simmer it for about 15 minutes, it will be done, and you will get this kind of grain that you can add to all kinds of things. People make it into cereals, they add it into breads and cookies, and also, as I said, into the salad that we're going to be making today. The other thing that I really want to talk about is we're doing spinach, and because sometimes spinach comes in huge leaves and sometimes it's in small leaves, this recipe calls for you to do what's called a chiffonade. And a chiffonade is where you take these big pieces of spinach, which would be really hard to eat in a salad, and you stack them up, and I roll them as well to make it a very small kind of cylinder shape. And then you will take your knife and you do very small cuts so that you have a very small dice, so that they are strips, in essence, of spinach. Makes it much easier to eat when you do that, and this is what you're really going for, is spinach that looks like this. So to put the salad together, what we're going to do is put it in the bowl. And to me, this just saves us having to wash one bowl. And so whatever bowl I'm going to be serving the salad in, I will go ahead and do that. And this particular dressing calls for balsamic vinegar, and it calls for 2 tablespoons. So we're going to measure that into the bowl. Then it calls for Dijon mustard, and that takes a teaspoon. So Dijon doesn't always come out the spoon very easily, so I will use one of the others to help me with that. Then we are going to do olive oil, and that takes 2 tablespoons as well. So as you can see, this is a very simple recipe. Probably all these ingredients you already have in your pantry. And then it calls for salt and pepper to taste. Whenever a recipe says that, I generally start with about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, because you can always add more if you want, but you can't take it out. And so mix together the dressing ingredients until it gets to the consistency that you would like to have it. And you're really just trying to incorporate the oil and the vinegar together. And the Dijon mustard will help you with that, or the Dijon will help you with that because it's an emulsifier. So you are going to add in the quinoa, and you want to have let this cool after you've cooked it. And it's sometimes a good idea to just make extra, because if maybe you want to have a salad in the beginning of the week and a salad later in the week. Then we're going to add in 2 cups of spinach. You can also add in other greens if you would like, because this is certainly something that you could adapt to a different kind of taste that you would like. We're going to put in the strawberries. And then we're going to add in almonds for crunch. Now, if you have pecans, go ahead and use pecans. If you have walnuts, it's very adaptable, and so you can use whatever you want. And I did toast these lightly after I sliced them. Then we are going to add in some chopped up basil that we did the chiffonade method with as well. So for this salad, we are going to mix this all together, and you can see how pretty it is. The red and of the strawberries and the green of the spinach really make this a beautiful, very summery salad. And it's going to be very filling because of all the protein that comes with the quinoa. Make sure that you stir it up really well. You've got it well incorporated, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. Again, because you've done the chiffonade, you're going to find that it's very easy to eat this salad because it's in that chiffonade form, and you can certainly chiffonade it smaller if you would like to. This is fairly big because the leaves were fairly big in this spinach. So hopefully you would enjoy this and give it a try and see if you might like adding grain, fruit, and vegetable salads to your diet.